Welcome once again to Living in the 21st Century. Joining me today again is Vasil Shevchenko, former Transportation Minister of Ukraine. Vasil, it's a pleasure to have you on.
Thank you for having me.
Sure. So apparently there's a lot going on right now in the Ukraine, but more provocative is that we have Russian jets and drones flying out through the NATO nations, and they're starting to cause a lot of issues. I think it was recently this week that NATO had to scramble their own jets to destroy some of those drones that were flying in the NATO's airspace. What do you think is going on here? Do you think that Putin is beginning to think he's going to lose the war, so he's looking for an excuse that when he loses the war, that he had to fight against the whole NATO nations so he can make an excuse for the public? I don't know. What's going on?
Yeah, but I think that we should repeat the same idea we have discussed many times that Russia will continue provoking Western countries because it's provoking, gives them extra information about vulnerability NATO bloc European Union countries. And we can see that many moments we have seen is balancing at the brink of peace or provocation. You know that Russia's leader commented that he was asked by a Russian journalist about the drones, and exactly he had denied it because it's type of big game. And then we could see that his speech during 4 hours, it was attempt to bully Western leaders, because Western leaders haven't understood that they are not, they are NATO bloc, that they are strong, that they are together with Ukraine, and that they have to be ready to repel any provocation and any blow. And in this case, I'd say that they will still provoking, and I am afraid they will try to make something more serious. Because they have received extra information that, for example, every day they are launching drones from tankers which are transporting through Baltic Sea Russia's crude oil, and from these tankers they are launching their drones, and exactly they deny that, and we don't know that it's somebody else, it's a joke. But Western countries, I mean European Union, our partners and our neighbors understand it. But to react it means that they have to do something serious. For example, the fighter jet it seems to me, must be shot down immediately. Because this provocation that they can fly in the European Union airspace, it's testing. And them drones which were launched to Poland's airspace, and Polanders commented that they reacted according to Ukraine forces. They did nothing. And for example, I saw the picture when my friends put it on his Facebook page, and he commented that one Ukraine fighter have shot down 6 or 7 drones from his old machine gun, and it's his job. He knows how to do it. And because of it, we must know that they will go further.
Oh, sorry. Recently, President Trump mentioned that it seems and appears that Ukraine will win the war because of the lacking somewhat of Russia's resources and how they're dwindling. He also indicated it looked like the United States were going to sell Ukraine whatever weapons they want. But I saw an article recently is that Ukraine needs some Tomahawk missiles that can penetrate deep down into Russia. Is the United States going to sell the Tomahawk missiles to Ukraine? You got any ideas?
This idea is being discussed. First of all, this idea was issued by Vice Prime Minister United States, and then I saw that media haven't confirmed this, and maybe this decision is at the United States president at the table. Maybe he is he haven't made this decision to transmit, but it's a good idea. I'm really surprised that United States president has understood that Russia Federation is threats for not only for Ukraine. Ukraine is frontline this combat relation. Ukraine is fighting, and Ukraine is demonstrating how to act against Russia Federation. And then we can see that United States president has changed his opinion, and it allows him to understand that he must act. And this idea to transmit to Ukraine Tomahawk missiles is good idea, but I don't think that it will happen the nearest future, because every night Ukraine forces are shelling Russia's refinery, and we spoke that the number of Russia's refinery have destroyed from 30 to 40% Russia's refinery, and they changed from exporter oil to importer. They are importing fuel for their military vehicles to wage war, and we can see that that many Russia's petrol stations are empty and don't work. And it means that we are fighting right way, and the Ukraine forces have received the moment that Ukraine forces can launch defense forces of Ukraine are launching different type of drones. We have built our own missiles, but we lack money for building these missiles enough to launch it. But according to Ukraine president and Ukraine's military officials, this type of missiles will appear in big number in during this winter, and now we have had a lot of negotiations concerning who will help us to join to funding to this project, because Ukraine is fighting every day, and every day we can see that Ukraine's facilities are under bombing and under shelling from different type of missiles. They are launching Ukraine different type of missiles, and they have corrected thanks to China, because last information just after our interview, I saw that Ukraine's intelligence military services informed that China is providing Russia Federation information from satellite about different type of military object, and first of all vulnerable facility, first of all from foreign investors.
Yeah, Russia had targeted several energy infrastructures in Ukraine. Do you know what percentage got damaged?
They are still shelling us. For example, today we have during overnight we had 112 shelling long-range bombs, long-range drones and missiles, different types. And 25 objects have been damaged. And first of all, they are trying to shell bordering to battle line cities at Chernigiv, Sumy. They have destroyed many different energy objects concerning providing electricity, and they are still shelling facilities, natural gas providing facilities, and they do it every night. And for example, we can see that our air defense forces have managed to intercept about 90% drones, 70% cruise missiles, and about 65% ballistic missiles, because you know that they are working and they are building new software for missiles together with China, and it allows them to shell Ukraine targeting vulnerable object inside Ukraine. Yeah.
I don't know if this is reality or not. Is it true that Kim Jong-un from North Korea issued a clear warning to the NATO nations not to assist, in Ukraine war, or else he is going to get seriously involved?
Actually, he is involved, and North Korea is part of the system, because first of all, Russia is unable to produce enough weapon, because their facilities mostly are full of producing, and now they are in cooperation with North Korea, and first of all in the sphere of building missiles, which middle range, which has range up to 300 mile, and this missiles is produced in North Korea, and North Korea is producing for Russia Federation different type of ammunition, for artillery, for soldiers, for rifles, different type of weapons they are producing. They have received a lot of support from China, and we know that where is the point of making decisions, and for North Korea, and now they are going to send their soldiers to Ukraine, but we don't know where they are going to send. Maybe they will send to the borders between Belarus and for example Poland or Baltic countries. We don't know, because they are bluffing, and Russians are bluffing and joking, and they are trying to humiliate Western countries, because, for example, Russia soldiers cannot storm bordering countries, but how about North Koreans? And for example, we could see that Poland decided to close railway line between Poland and China, which is being connected through Russia and Belarus. And after that, immediately China's representative came to Poland and discussed with Poland officials concerning threats, because we know that at the border between Belarus and Russia are persons who are trying to get to European Union illegally to get, and we know that Belarus authorities are supporting them. And it means that this kind of hybrid war continues. And all countries must understand it, and must understand that democracy is a good idea, but to fight for future we must together. And now, for example, Ukraine soldiers, Ukraine military officials are involved in cooperation with Denmark, because Denmark under threat, and they decided to invite Ukrainian soldiers and to consult with Ukrainian military officials how to defend own sky, and how to repel drones which are flying from this tanker platform, tanker ships. Which are transporting 60% of oil for world markets. Russia is transporting through Baltic Sea.
Yeah, it's something I'm wondering here. As it stands, obviously, Putin, he's up for war crimes and so forth. But it's understood that Russian had ordered assassination for ex-parliament Speaker Andrei Parubev. What is there any truth to that?
Yeah, because this assassination took place earlier, and today Secret Service of Ukraine, who's responsible for investigation, issued that it was Russia's agents who committed this assassination, and who's arrested, and who's being whose case is being investigation, but Secret Service, and now they informed that they are sure that it was Russians who made him to do it. Because there was the idea that his son was killed at the battlefield. This killer sons was Ukrainian soldiers, and he from the very beginning missed in action. And them, in exchange of information about place of his son body, they made him to kill a famous person in Ukraine. And he confirms that he knows the place where former Speaker of Parliament lived. It's western city, western biggest Ukrainian city, Lviv, and it took place there.
Yeah. With this war going on for 3 years, at some point it has to come to an end. Is there any way you see Zelensky being able to find a strategy to permanently neutralize Russia from ever invading the Ukraine again? What do you think would probably have to be put in place to stop such attacks? Because this guy, he's not going anywhere. He's not raising young militants to take over his position should he die or he decide to retire, whatever the case may be. How would European nations, without actually having Ukraine as a part of NATO, how would they really neutralize the threats of Russia towards Ukraine again? You think what measure you think they would probably have to put in place?
I'd say that from 35 to 70% Ukrainians believe that we will be able to drive Russians away and to destroy Russian army. It means that we have strong spirit, and we have got to Russia Federation drive away from our countries. But our neighbors must believe, because it's we who are under shelling every day, and nevertheless our opinion hasn't changed since Russia's invasion, that we will be able to push them out from our territory. In this case, I think that European Union countries and NATO bloc countries must believe Ukrainians and must know that we must be together, because only this way democracy is. Democracy works slowly, but it has might to do it. We haven't understand that cooperation with Russia is wrong way, but nevertheless we can see that countries which are located farther from Russia Federation are still having cooperation with the Russia Federation, paying for strengthening Russia's army. And Russia's army is coming, and Russia's army is provoking, and Russia's army is demonstrating that they are trying to humiliate these countries. And in this case, I think that discussions will take place, and I think that now European Union and NATO bloc will not be able to stop Russia Federation without Ukraine. Because Ukraine is frontline, and Ukraine is has technology how to stop them and how to destroy them, and to military technologies, for example, now is frightening European Union NATO bloc members, and it means that they need now they need our support, and they need our knowledges in sphere of defense, and together we will do it. But without Ukraine, I am afraid it will be big challenge, and I'm not sure what will happen next. That we will be able to stop them.
Yeah, but I mean, I believe the only deterrent to stop Russia from invading Ukraine again is if Ukraine has access to nuclear weaponry on their base. Russia needs to know that they can protect themselves against threats from Russia. They should be able to carry the same nuclear weapons that they had before, that they were made to dismantle for European protection. But now they need the kind of weapons they need to get in to prohibit the attacks from Russia. You don't have it anymore. And the kind of support you need to get from the US, you're not getting. You are only limited to what you can get. I think that you deserve more as a nation who was once a superpower that kept Russia hand tied before. Why can't you do the same now?
Thank you. You are right. But first of all, we must know that we don't know about Russia's nuclear weapon. First of all, I commented that we don't know how it was serving all this time. Maybe it doesn't work. And them, you know that systems which allows to intercept any missiles have appeared. For example, we have drones which are intercepting, and we have missiles which are intercepting drones, and technologies are growing on. And it means that this fear Russia Federation use just to achieve own results. They are working. They are good in bluffing. And you know that Russia Federation has lost a lot of income, and without income, the war with the country, with the Western country, is not main idea without China's and their ally support. because you know that they are focusing on surviving without fuel, and this refinery have been destroyed by Ukrainian forces, and many military plants have been destroyed, and Ukraine forces will continue doing it because it's weak point Russia Federation, and I'm sure that it can collapse, but we need support. We need support because Russia Federation has huge territory, and very often we need long-range weapon which would allow us to stop their weaponizing and they're willing to wage war. They have to focus on country surviving. After that, and I think that this idea is main idea Western countries and our allies must understand, and then we will be able to repel all these attacks, different type attacks. Yeah.
Beautiful. Well, Vasil, we come to the end of our program. That time get here pretty quickly. I want to say to all those who have been tuning in on Living in the 21st Century, have a great day.